Are you here to pay my tab? I've got a whole pile of other debts if you're interested. I grew up in the city, trained with the Royal Guard, but I didn't want to stay here all my life. I thought the war would be an adventure. A couple of mountain goats smuggled me through the narrow pass, and I took up with the Alpha military in Rathir. Sure, she served under me for a few years before they transferred her out of Melsenshire. Levins, de Groot, and Darken. Yeah, those three. Command in Rathir wanted them moved into the wolf pack. All of them are local kids. I saw Darken just yesterday at his family's place outside the city. It was a secret project, strictly off the books. Gnomes came up with the idea, which makes a lot of sense when you think about it. A military hit squad with no oversight. Those at the top wanted officers like me to have total deniability. The wolf pack was fierce, merciless. You wouldn't believe some of the stories I've heard.
It's you again. Forgive me. I know I may have led you astray before, but my motives are pure. You see, Last Breath belonged to the executioner who disappeared long ago. Mithros has suffered for it. I wish to bring about the executioner's return, and to do that I need the armor. But I am a struggling merchant, and the gold is desperately needed. I have information on more pieces, but it will cost you. I'm sorry. This coin goes to a greater cause. You have my word. The item you seek, the armor of Last Breath, is locked in a vault in the Bank of Crownhold.
You found him? Oh no, he's injured again. Probably in an encounter with the Preordained. We can't move him like this. I'll patch him up, but it's going to take time. Stand guard outside the cave, in case anyone comes for us. That was too close. If the Preordained weren't coming for me before, they certainly are now. It's time for me to leave Crownhold. I've been considering it for months, but this event has made it clear. Peaches and I will head deeper into the mountains, try and find a place of our own, away from strife, away from Telugris. We owe you our lives. Here is a small token of our appreciation, but I hope to one day repay you properly.
Don't take another step. I don't know who you are, but this is a private matter. It has nothing to do with you. This mad woman, she's been stalking us all over Mithros, killing us one by one, but we did nothing wrong. She came for me and my family, but I managed to capture her. Now she's the one who must beg for her life. The pack? Why do you want to know about that? Command had us embedded in Chloricon. We'd been there for months, surviving on rats and supplies we looted from all the bodies. The Tuatha launched an offensive into Cursewood. They forced a village of mortals to shelter them, supply them, gave them no choice. But we had a job to do, to break the supply line, clear the forest, root out agents, so the Tuatha couldn't enlarge the siege. We leveled the village, killed anyone who didn't submit. Cursewood burned for weeks. But they were orders, procedures, all for the greater good. We saved thousands in Melsenshire that day.
At what cost? Women, children, grandparents, stacked like firewood. Our whole world died that day. War or no war. Centuries of life, of tradition, all for a siege that continued for years afterwards. When does it become enough? Too much? The wolf pack must pay. Kill him. Kill Darken, and the debt is paid. My vengeance will be complete. You will never see me again. Or leave me here with him, so he may do with me what he must. But you will be haunted by the voices of the restless dead. Forever. Yes. Only the blood of the guilty will wash away this stain.
Well done, my friend. Remarkable job. I never thought I'd set my gaze on this armor again. I have not been fully truthful with you. The executioner, she was my mother. My whole life I've wanted to make her proud, to do something worthy of her mantle. And I'm trying, with your help. Are you willing to pay for the location of the next piece? You understand now? This quest, it is important. Together we will bring the executioner back. The Hood of Last Breath is among the spoils of the city's armory.
Oi, you look a little confused. And trust me, Crow Peak's the last place you want to get lost.
The name's Brogan McQueen, formerly of Menetier, and before that, the Caelid Coast. I'm a hunter. I follow the quarry. And right now, the good hunting's all in Mithros. I practically grew up in the arena, like the rest of these brutes. We fought for the pleasure of the crowd. I was on the cusp of ultimate victory, only to be undone by that cur Magnus. Everything came crashing down. I knew there had to be other ways to regain my standing, to show the world that I was worthy of the title of champion. I organised the party, and we've been on our journey ever since. Oh, that's the interesting part. Mithros is home to giants. Not giants in the traditional sense. Magical mutations. Freaks. They emerge every 100 years or so. They're called giants because they're tougher than your average monster. That's important because we've got a lot to prove. I don't know if you're looking for action, but we've got room for one more. You get paid for what you kill. The group of us, well, we fought in the House of Valor. Each of us came up his or own way, surviving by winning. Until we fought Tyr Magnus, the house champion, and lost. There's nothing like dishonour. It haunts you and it follows you to your grave. There are few ways to recapture that honour, and one of them is to succeed in a great hunt. That is why we must find the giants and bring them down. I had a feeling about you. Something fiery in the eyes. I like it. Welcome aboard. You won't be sorry. You'll have the same deal as the rest of us. You get paid for what you kill, but you've got to take a trophy to prove your victory. If you're lucky enough to find a giant and slay it, bring proof back here for a payout. Good luck.
My father told me what you did, and we are all in your debt. I never thought I'd see daylight again. My father and I left Dyden Hill because of the war. A travelling merchant was selling shares of farmland in Mithros, promising a new start. Looking back, I'm convinced that merchant was a trickster. Oh, I'm so ashamed. I hardly ever saw Lady Goodchild. She was always behind a wall of guards, those she had paid for their silence. We survived on roots and grubs dug from the cellar mud. 2 of us died from a sweating sickness. It was hell.
The families have watched your journey with great anticipation, but we never dared hope. Yet you have brought our children back. Heidi is safe now, thanks to you. You've done us such a great service. Please take this. It's all we have, but it is merely a fraction of what's deserved. You have returned our spirits to us.
You actually found it. Should I be concerned that wood is stolen? Are the Warsworn close behind you? Well done! You are someone who can deliver, which is more than I can say for most of these goons. I'll play with your friend, but I may not like it.
What a gift. I couldn't have asked for better collaborators. And honestly, I can't believe you convinced Cero to join us. He's famously private, a true virtuoso. Thank you. I expect to see you at our performances. You're our biggest fan. I was born in Canarok, but I ran away when I was very young. My mother was quite oppressive, and I had no stomach for spiders. I spent most of the Crystal War in Felltown, in the Gardens of Issa. Yes, it does exist. If ever you're given the opportunity to visit, take it. Being from Canarok, I'm used to small towns. Still, I don't like creepy stories, and this place has a few of them. That wouldn't be an issue if I trusted the warden. But the one here in Gale Crossing doesn't inspire confidence. Little is known of the great Matharan culture, as they've supposedly kept hidden for centuries. However, we've discovered that their language and music is based on the tonal qualities of the Arathi light speech.
You look confident. Were you able to locate the ring? Maisie's luck would make all the difference between fortune and despair. wonderful surprise. May I have it? Oh, this is a momentous day. It is a sign that the future holds hope for me yet. Thank you. I was saving some of my family's wealth for when I settled, but your honesty deserves recompense. I didn't dare hope that it was truly an enchanted ring. Then all my good fortune could be attributed to magic, not me. But some truths cannot be denied. My grandmother must have wanted the best for me, casting a luck charm without my knowledge.
What a relief. I worried you'd been eaten. It's easy for me to slip into the shadows and hide among the scrub, but you're another story. I've been puzzling over these inscriptions. This is the largest of the stones driven deep into the ground. It's seen many generations, many millennia. See how Miss Cross's pendant glows. Let me read it. Great passion swelled. The patrons called him, promised a reckoning. Walk the unbound path. I don't have the foggiest what it means. I'm going to make a few more notes. Why don't you go on ahead to the next leths and we can meet at each one?
Quite a time to be visiting Crownhold. Not only are we victims to external threats, but some of our own people have turned against us. A guild of legendary Mitharan warriors. They called themselves the Headhunters. Assassins and vigilantes mostly. They disbanded when the city fell. Now they seek payment as murderers for hire. It's a tragedy. You'll know them by the tokens they wear around their necks. 1 silver cameo or head for every victim. Nobody wants to be warden with the headhunters out there. They've certainly made my job a lot harder.
You've returned. Alive. My scouts reported your successes along the road. They say it was a bloody affair. I'm afraid it was the only outcome. You have done your part, and now I shall do mine. Take this, and please, think better of Crownhold than what you see now. We will make it ours again in time.
Hello again. I didn't expect to see you again so soon. Call it Providence. You're here in time to see us perform. The citizens of Gale Crossing have been kind enough to give Colette and the Echoes a stage for our first concert in Mithros. They will not be disappointed. This evening. Best of all, it's free. We've decided that everyone should share in our exploration of the Mitharan sound. Sero would prefer we charge an admission, but he's not in any position to enforce it. We'd love you to come, seeing as you're directly responsible for Colette and the Echoes' formation.
Welcome. You're looking well. Must be all the travel. How can I be of assistance? We loved it. Until Telogris arrived with his brood. Since then, it's been nothing but chaos. Isn't that what they promise? Most of the town carries on as normal. But the fear never releases any of us from its cruel grip. I can hardly speak of it, what they've done. But I must, to preserve the memory of my beloved, Aaron. They arrested him under false charges and locked him away in Madding Wind. I never heard from him again. They said he tried to escape, that they killed him out of self-defense, but it's a lie. He was butchered. Good. That means you're reducing their number. Now hand them over, and here's your gold.
Oh, hello. Have we met? I don't recall. Oh, well, I'm Courteous, merchant and guide at your service. Welcome to... which village is this? I visit so many. Oh, yes, I know it. Very well. It was a local storehouse for years, before that cult started tearing up the countryside. I still stash goods there from time to time. There's a wing of the place where the wall has collapsed, and it's easy to get in, if you're careful. It's to the west. No, the east. Ah, damn. I'm not sure. There you are, just in time. Listen to this. The unbound path. All will yearn. Patrons immortal. Called to freedom. Fascinating. This one line has me stumped. Reaching to the sky, or we strain, or we stretch. Patrons look down, together not alone. Reforge the world.
What brings you so far out? You're not one of those preordained spies, are you? Can't afford any more fines. If not, would you be interested in a bit of leisure? a fanciful activity to take your mind off the troubles of daily life. I'm speaking of antelope racing, of course. We're the part-blood Mitharans you don't hear much about. We have ancestors in the city, but they mostly ignore us. It's time for our people to embrace the wider world. There's more to Amalur than Crownhold and Mithros. They don't like us living out in the woods, away from their prying eyes. Nothing in Mithros happens without their notice. Our ranch has been fined multiple times for its use of official Crownhold lands. Those cultists need to relax, have a little fun. Ah, but the real question is, why not race antelopes? You see, my brother and I have been stuck with the unenviable task of raising this herd of antelope. Our father believed that a stable, humble occupation would do us good. He was wrong, of course. We lost most of our coin in the gambling dens, and we spent the last 2 years running from debt collectors. So, we came back and assumed ownership of our dear father's business, Atwater Farms. It's dull work, but we make it interesting by allowing passers-by to race our antelope. It's more fun than herding them. It happens. You know what they say? Can't race antelope without accidentally killing one. Or was that eggs? Well, I love your spirit. That's what we're all about here at Atwater Farms. All play and no work. We need you to direct as many antelope as you can from their grazing lands into our corral on the other side of the hill. The more of the beasts you collect for us, the more money we'll pay.
See how the pendant reacts? It grows more pronounced with every lith we visit. This stone says, "One below the patrons, champion of fate, the unbound path, beckoning."
Oi, you. What's this I'm hearing about you finding and slaying all the giants? Is this some kind of joke? Are you telling me that you not only tracked these beasties down, but you killed them all? Single-handedly? This was our chance to redeem ourselves, and you stole the honor for yourself. Now, I'm a man of my word, and I'll pay you what I promised, but this is low. Some real fateless one showboating if I ever saw it. Take your money and go. Now we've got another hunt to organise, no thanks to you.
We're very close now, my friend. This narrative seems to imply that Mitharu was behind the emergence, that he alone ended the deep gloam. Out of the darkness, fate brings a dawn. Doorway open. The unbound path.
Hey! You! Yeah, you! These are private lands. How many times do I have to tell you to quit scrounging around in my soil? Never mind. You're not one of them. You look like a cultist, but you're not a cultist. Still, did you spy any of those preordained scoundrels mucking about out front? Digging around in my dirt? Pulling my crops? It's nothing like it used to be. The preordained are always watching. Always waiting for you to slip up. It's maddening. I try to avoid the city as best I can. Don't want to draw attention to myself. I live off the weave, as some say. My husband ran off when the city fell, leaving me to harvest all these fields on my own. Now I've got calluses on top of calluses. Everything would be fine if not for the farming restrictions. Anything that could be of help to the resistance is banned. Maybe. Depends on the kind of help you're offering. If you mean my harvest, then yeah, I could use a hand. Something's been scrabbling in my fields, uprooting everything, tearing the place to pieces. It's gotta be poachers. Hungry folks from up in the city come down to dig my veggies, and the preordained steal my ember eyes. Like to smoke 'em. They're going to ruin my whole crop. Run me right out of business. My farm? Special? Why'd you ask? I'm certainly not growing and harvesting illegal reagents. Certainly not. Why, to suggest such a thing is slander. I have not procured, grown and harvested anything that goes against the city's farming laws. Nothing. Not a thing. Nope. I'm going to trust you, though I'll probably regret it. You can't trust anyone these days, not even the Crownhold Royal Guard. Maybe you should set a trap for these poachers, Or use a scarecrow. You could model it after that Telogris creep. Ugly as hell, that one. Under occupation, the preordained have outlawed all collection of chaos essence. They don't want anybody cornering the market. But it's a pretty simple item to cultivate. Not that I know how to do it, or would. Never. Not me. Critters. Honestly, that's shocking to me. Shocking. Why would chaos critters be drawn to my farm of all places? It's not as if I'm cultivating illegal chaos reagents on the property. That would be ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'll breathe easier knowing that the problem has been solved and the threat eliminated. And knowing that you'll keep our little transaction to yourself.
Do you have the heads for me? I'll accept whatever assistance you can offer. The city is too big for one warden. I'm impressed. Empty your bag and let's see what you brought me. Wonderful. This is very good work. Well worth the reward money.
When I heard tales of a rat queen, I thought they were jokes. Sick, blood-curdling jokes. This is truly shocking. Well, we clearly selected the right person for the job. The only person who volunteered. You clearly have a bright future in the extermination industry. You might even say it's your fate. Here you are.
You got the hood. I never dreamed we'd get this far. I hesitate to tell you this, but I've been considering taking up the torch of becoming the executioner in my late mother's place. If you're interested in the next piece, I can offer its location, for a small price, of course. As always, I'm grateful. The leggings of Last Breath can be found here on your map, but you will need to be careful. Ah yes, the leggings. The set is nearly finished, and I have been thinking. The executioner must return. The vigilante brings the promise of justice to people across Mithros, and I have decided. The final piece is easily found. I will show you. Meet me at the Gemstone Inn in Gale Crossing, soon.
This is what all the fuss is about. After all the trouble I endured to bring you here, capturing your friend, imprisoning him in this tomb, summoning a Horinox, you still won't die, and now I must deal with you myself. Tell me, Fateless One, why shouldn't I simply pull your heart from your mouth and let you writhe around on the floor like a drowning fish? Silly question. Why not? I am the god of chaos, after all. I sow unrest, confusion, and havoc. Mitharu and I have spent an eternity in struggle, but there has always been an imbalance. Fate. It was Mitharu's clever trick, his way to impose order on a world begging for chaos. But no more. The veil is weak in these mountains, has been for thousands of years. My guess is that those fool Irathi traveled frequently between this world and ours, weakening the barrier. Weak spirits. I will never slay enough of them to be satisfied. Does it matter what I tell you? Will it change your mind about killing me? Yes, I am Telogris, though this vessel does little to exhibit my true majesty. This boy, this skin, he is merely the instrument with which I am able to cross into this world. He had a name once, but that matters little now. You may be special, but you are no wiser than any other mortal. Crude, rash, stupid. Even as you stand there, you smell of death, a stink of corpses. I am Telogris. You cannot unmake me, Fateless One. Apparently so. But you cannot destroy something you do not understand. After everything you've done, I've expected more. But it seems I expected too much. Your friend Agarth will remain locked away forever, for I have the key to his deliverance. I take his life with me. Farewell, child of dust. You're a fool, Fateless One. Predictable and safe. A true child of order. There is no escape from the Chaos Realm. The only way out is protected, clad in the same chaos magic that I am. It seems that destiny has finally come to claim you, Fateless One. It has been fun.
Consider me flattered. No one's ever worked so hard for my companionship. It's good to see you, old friend. I thought we'd freed the world from fate, but I was wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. So it seems our destinies are still inseparably linked, though I no longer have the ability to see it. It's been a difficult time, and I may have relied on old vices to see me through it. But I'm not proud of my mistakes. Lotos and his gang of fanatics found me in a somewhat compromised state. I'd slept the night in a bottle, as they say. They gathered up my old bones and tossed me in here with the other prizes. Sadly, they won't share their secrets with me. But I've drawn some of my own conclusions based on what I've seen. I recognize some of the other prisoners, people of standing, names I recognize. I believe the preordained are kidnapping persons of influence from across Amalur and sacrificing them to Telogris. If my theories are correct, every death further damages the tapestry of fate. The deaths of those with connections and reach across the world, well, their deaths leave holes that are not easily repaired. Everything comes apart faster. Soon there will be no stopping it. Yes, rub it in. Laugh at the man in the shackles. Classy as always. Before you get all high and mighty, remember that we found you in a pile of corpses. Now hurry and get me out of here. There is no more time for jest. Speaking of narrow escapes, how did you manage to free yourself from the Chaos Realm? I've never seen it done. A weapon? In the Chaos Realm? That's the first I've heard of anything like that. But I'm not always the most reliable source. Keep that blade close. I've got a feeling it's the only reason you're alive right now. Now, is there any reason why we're still standing around jabbering? Okay, I think we'll be safe here. As safe as one can ever be from the preordained. They knew I was coming. As they know you are coming. They employ fate weavers like us to track and eliminate their prey. Make no mistake, Telogris is a true threat. But he's also an ordinary man, which adds some complications. Now that I'm free again, it's vital that we continue with my mission. Otherwise, Mithros and Amalur will be in great danger. From the information I've gathered, the mortal vessel he inhabits was once a boy, a blacksmith's apprentice named Wolf. The boy's an innocent, just another victim of the god of chaos. I must get in contact with Skald Atlas, a former member of the Order. She's been keeping us updated on events in Mithros, but she's been forced to flee from her home, to find a new hideout from the preordained. Skald is the key to everything. Well said. We're always stronger together, especially out here. Mithros is no place for lonely. I was on the trail of the blacksmith Skald Atlas, and the preordained got in my way. Skald has been out here for years, and she has answers about chaos weapons like the one you recovered, about our powers. As the weave unravels, fate magic is changing, and we're changing along with it. I'm not sure exactly. Have you seen the rifts? The tears in the weave? I see them, but when I try to touch them, nothing. The thinning of the barrier between worlds has granted us a glimpse of the other side, a chaos sight. I have very little control over it, but knowing you, well, I can only imagine. It's time to fight fire with fire, as they say. It's my theory that weapons touched with chaos magic will harm him. Of course, I've never gotten close enough to test it. I knew I could count on you. Telogris doesn't stand a chance. After this, I'll retire. Find a nice piece of farmland in the wolds, settle down. Maybe not. Skald's forge is hidden under the mountains, but she still needs to emerge for supplies and information. We should talk to Arella Axel, a smuggler who's said to make the occasional delivery to our friend, the blacksmith.
You made it. Good. I told you I'd made up my mind about the executioner, and I have. But it will not be me. You were the only one qualified to take up the mantle. I've heard the stories and I've seen your exploits. There is no one better qualified to don the hood. Take this key. It will open my mother's hideout, the executioner's den. I used the money you provided to fix it back up. You will need it in your quest for justice. Thank you. You do me a great honor in continuing this legacy.
Go away. Leave a lady to her drink. So you're the pushy type. Let's see you shove a girl around without any hands. I'll start with the fingers. Bah, not worth the trouble. It's a sight to see. No doubt about that. Those Mitharans know a thing or two about surviving. Stuck in these cliffs like a seed in your teeth. Damn near immovable. It's the last village for 200 miles. Used to be something to see, if you can believe it. When the pass closed, all the trade ended, and Gale dried up like a leaf in the wind. It's no crownhold, but it's got charm. I told you, don't know nothing. I settled out here at the start of the war. I'm not much of a fighter. Not for free, anyway. Don't know her. It's not a good time. Come back when I'm sober. I don't need to do anything. You've got plenty of cheek coming into my village and asking questions, sticking your nose in my business. Stick it too far and you might lose it. Why do you think I know Skald Atlas anyway? What? Agarth? The old drunk? Oh, you'd best be rid of that wasted relic as soon as you can. He's liable to get you killed. Listen, if you really want to know about Skald Atlas, I'll talk, but it won't be cheap. Look for a cave up by the old windmill. I'll be there, after dark. Come alone.
If I didn't know better, I'd say this was fate. You managed to survive Madding Wind, but you will not escape us again. You are new to Mithros, old friend. Otherwise, you would have known to never trust Arella Axel. She can't resist the sweet music of gold jangling in her pocket. Now she's off in her smuggler's bolt hole, counting that coin. I am Lotus, war chief of the preordained. It is nice to finally make your acquaintance.
If you want to know about our troubles, ask somebody else. I'm not interested. I was born and raised in this village. I could have relocated to Crownhold, but the city simply bursts with scholars. Here, I'm one of a kind. I am appreciated. I have devoted my life to the study of this region. My collection is second only to the great library in Crownhold. I wish to pass on my legacy to my children, but that was not to be fate's desire. Sure, I know her. Can't say I like her much. A cheat, no rules, no morals. She'll sell her own mother for a gold shaving. She stores her goods around town, in a few of the cellars. Slips in and out when no one's around. Trust me, she's got a hideout around here somewhere. Only wish I knew where it was.
Sounds like there's been some action out by the caves. Stay clear. Arella? That old smuggler could be anywhere. Likes to wedge herself into cracks. Lurks in the caves under the village. If you find her, tell her to find safe haven elsewhere. We're tired of her kind of trouble. If I were you, I'd check the Gemstone Tavern. She's probably passed out under a table.
If this is about the fighting by the caves, I want no part of it. What about her? Do you know where she is? Oh, you're looking for her too? Well, you know as much as I do then. She's got a small bolt hole around here, but I don't know where. Arella is tricky like that. Turn your back on her for a second and she's gone.
Enough! I yield. I have nowhere else to run. Forgive me. Forgive my betrayal. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know. Schooled Atlas. She's real. I deliver supplies to her forge in the Caldera cinder pit. She sealed the area with some infernal mechanism of her own design. I can tell you where to look, but no one gets in. I can't tell you much because there might be preordained nearby. Take this note, and you should be able to figure it out on your own. Please, don't kill me. I didn't know. Truly. Oh, thank you. I owe you my life. You are gracious, Fateless One. I will not forget it.
Here we are. The old cinder pit caldera. I don't see a forge anywhere. Although Arella did mention a strange mechanism.
Maybe you can give it a try.
So, they finally sent someone. 10 years. That's how long I've been warning the Order about what is happening in Mithros. 10 years. And what did they do? Nothing. Now Telogris has risen, and the rest of us race to keep Amalur from falling apart. Agarth, I didn't expect to see your face again. Not after what happened. I'm still not sorry. We go back, him and I. The old wars. Another life. He could show you some scars. A long time ago, I worked closely with the Order. With Agarth, Aelin, Finia, until they refused to listen to my warnings. I left the Feylands and journeyed west, established a new forge in these mountains, and I kept watch. I do. You stink of fate magic. I can't say I'm happy to see you, considering you shouldn't exist. But it's fitting that you came. May the abomination who wrecked the weave be the one to repair it. Not that it will be easy, even for you. It depends on whom you ask. He is many things to many people. To the citizens of his city, of Crownhold, he is the true ruler of Amalur, a figure who will rebuild this war-torn land. To the refugees and settlers moving west to join him, he is a liberator, a figure who will free them from the bonds of fate. Yes, that is Telogris' true desire, to unbind us all. Perhaps you're right. There is enough for which to blame you. The unraveling of the weave, the rise of Octien, the breaking of the Fae, You've been unusually productive in your short time, Fateless One. But even now we waste time we don't have. Every day Telogris grows more powerful. Soon he will possess his human host entirely. We must hurry. Now that you're here, there's work to do, and a city to save. I knew him as Wolf, a boy from Yulven. He was my apprentice, and my responsibility. Wolf accompanied me on many expeditions into these caves and canyons. He was strong, resourceful. During one trek, Wolf and I became separated, and he vanished. I believed him dead, and I mourned him in the tradition of my people. Weeks later, he returned, different. I knew it was not the Wolf I knew. He had been taken, consumed. Farther west, in the ancient Mitharan city of Crownhold, its great temple has been occupied by his followers. It is a perversion that this grand Erothi city has become a haven for the followers of Chaos. Many in Mithros see Telogris' words for what they are. Lies, meant to disrupt and deceive. Those who have been forced from their homes or wish to escape the occupation come here, to me. Soldiers, scholars, farmers, alchemists, even other blacksmiths. We are preparing to take this region back. Let me see it. Ah, of course. I know this blade well, because I crafted it. A chaos sword. My own invention. Ugly, but elegant in its own terrible way. I last saw this weapon in the hands of one of my apprentices. I often brought my apprentices with me into the Chaos Realm. It was foolhardy, and several paid with their lives. Sadly, weapons like this are all that remain of those loyal friends. Since then, I've been unable to reach the Chaos Realm again to procure the necessary metals. You'll need to master Chaos, its weapons, its magic, if you expect to face Telogris. Come, bring the sword, and I will show you. Take this, the Chaos Flame. I stole it from Ishara with my own hands, sacrificing my greatest tools to ensure Telogris' destruction. Use that forge. Bring the flame that'll be Telogris' undoing. Beautifully done. Only I could have done it better. You may be faithless, but you still have much to learn. About magic, about war with Telogris. I will now repair the sword for you. Or do you want me to forge it into a different weapon instead? From this core, I could also create a staff or daggers. Understood. I will begin forging your weapon at once. Here is your weapon. Keep it close. Only those weapons forged in chaos magic will be of any use to you against our new enemies. Thousands of years ago, the first Niskaru hunters weaponized chaos magic. Swords, shields, hammers, armors. All the martial equipment used by mortals. It is the only way for us to stand a chance against Telogris' brood. Wait, what was that? It seems we have some unwanted guests in the forge. Stay close. Niskaru. Sometimes they find their way in as sneaky little demons. They're nearly indestructible, unless you know how to get past their defenses. Your chaos weapon will make short work. You're a good fighter and a quick study, but you have a long way to go before you master chaos magic. The forge is defended by numerous barriers and defenses, but still, they find us. I worry about the future. Enough about that. I will handle your chaos training, and the chaos creatures will keep your combat skills honed. We have much to do. It will take time and courage, but the best way to understand chaos is to destroy it. That means closing rifts and portals whenever and wherever you find them. I've spent years capturing and studying all manner of chaos creatures. Facing them in battle is the best way to understand their weaknesses. Defeating my chaos beasts will prove to me that you're worthy. Their chaos hide is similar to the armor worn by Telogris. If you can't beat them, you still have much work to do. You're one of the final pieces in my plot to thwart Telogris, and I will need your help assembling the rest. A sagecrafter named Callan MacLeod has made a great discovery. I've seen it in my readings. He's on the verge of using chaos magic in sagecrafting, but he may not live long enough to do it. You have to find him and bring him here. That's your mission. That rusty sword you brought with you, you found it in the Chaos Realm, didn't you? Tell me, Fadeless One, what else did you see in that cursed landscape? Yes, I call it a Chaos Node, and I believe its purpose is to ensure the dungeon's integrity. Even more important is what's contained within them, a magical substance dubbed Chaos Matter. Chaos Matter is vital to defeating Telogris, and the only way to obtain it is to destroy and harvest these Chaos Nodes. Chaos weapons can be forged from Chaos Matter, and these enchanted weapons may be the only thing that can harm Telogris. When I forged your new weapon, I did so by extracting Chaos Matter from that broken sword you found in the Chaos Realm. Unfortunately, it was rusty and impure, which greatly limited what I could produce from it. If you bring me pure Chaos Matter, obtained directly from a Chaos Node, I can forge any kind of Chaos weapon core you wish. If you're not in a hurry, I suggest giving it a try before continuing with your mission.